Hi there, I'm Alicia, your quiz master, and today's quiz isn't for the faint of heart. These 100 questions will test your knowledge, stretch your memory, and maybe even stump you a little. Think you've got what it takes to ace this one? Grab your scorecard, take a deep breath, and let's get started. Welcome to Quiz Time. Which U.S. state was the first to ban single-use plastic bags? New York, California, Florida, California. Most U.S. lemon juice for beverages is made from which type of lemons? Lisbon, Ponderosa, Eureka, Eureka. Transformer models like GPT use which mechanism to handle sequences efficiently? Recurrent neural network, self-attention, long short-term memory? Self-attention. The first modern Ferris wheel, constructed for the 1893 Chicago World's Fair, had a diameter of 80 meters, 120 meters, 60 meters, 80 meters. CO2 fire extinguishers are generally ineffective on which type of fires? Class A, Class B, Class C, Class A. Which U.S. sprinter won 9 Olympic gold medals in track and field? Michael Johnson, Carl Lewis, Jesse Owens, Carl Lewis. Which map projection does NATO use for air navigation in mid-latitudes? Mercator projection, Gall-Peters, Lambert conformal conic, Lambert conformal conic. Which California tree worsens wildfires due to its high oil content? Eucalyptus, maple, oak, eucalyptus. Which material made modern U.S. brooms more effective than straw brooms? Bamboo, palm fibers, nylon, nylon. In vintage American umbrellas, which mechanical innovation allowed automatic opening? Lever, spring, magnetic clasp, spring. Which alloying element most significantly increases the hardness of steel? Nickel, carbon, chromium, carbon. Which property of bamboo gives it tensile strength comparable to steel? Ligand deficiency, hollow stem structure, fiber content, fiber content. What does sous vide cooking precisely control? Temperature, pressure, time and moisture, temperature. Why did the original Cornish pasty have a thick crimped edge? For decoration, to display family crests, as extra handle for minors, as extra handle for minors. Which sunlight wavelength helps human skin make vitamin D? UVA, UVB, UVC, UVB. The sun emits most of its radiation at which part of the spectrum? Visible light, infrared, ultraviolet, visible light. Which consequence results from the moon's lack of a significant atmosphere? Strong winds, strong magnetic storms, extreme temperatures, extreme temperatures. Which design principle reduces sky glow in city streetlights? Glare reduction lenses, full cutoff, reflective shield, full cutoff. The classic British red telephone booth was designed using which architectural style? Neoclassical, Baroque, Art Deco, Neoclassical. Which iconic dish is most associated with New Orleans? Muffaletta, gumbo, burnt ends, gumbo. Which traditional British sandwich filling originated in Scotland? Roast beef, tuna mayo, haggis, haggis. Who first used modern headphones? Telephone operators, U.S. Navy, pilots, U.S. Navy. In which year were the first Nobel Prizes awarded? 1910, 1890, 1901, 1901. The first known vending machine invented by Hero of Alexandria dispensed what? Wine, beer, holy water, holy water. Which ancient civilization first established a postal system resembling modern mail delivery? Ancient Egypt, Persian Empire, Roman Empire, Persian Empire. Which U.S. city is credited with popularizing the Sonoran hot dog? Tucson, Phoenix, El Paso, Tucson. The world's oldest surviving receipt, written in cuneiform, records what type of transaction? Land sale, livestock purchase, beer ration? Beer ration. Which regional U.S. dish reflects Scandinavian immigrant influence? Shoofly pie, lefse, burgoo, lefse. The first known use of standardized coinage in recorded history occurred in which ancient land? Sumer, Persia, Lydia, Lydia. Which device predated the mechanical clock for measuring equal hours? Sundial, water clock, sand glass, water clock. Why did medieval scribes use pumice before writing on parchment? To soften the surface, to whiten the surface, to test quills, to soften the surface. Which reform during the French Revolution directly targeted feudalism? Civil constitution of the clergy, abolition of the seigneurial dues, reorganization of the monarchy. Abolition of the seigneurial dues. Which classical appeal relies on credibility and moral authority? Ethos, pathos, logos, ethos. What is the effect of anti-metabole in speech writing? Symbolic mirroring, gradual amplification, reversal of word order for emphasis. Reversal of word order for emphasis. Who popularized formal shrub hedges in European gardens during the 16th century? English kings, Italian painters, French landscapers. French landscapers. Why did suburban planning emphasize cul-de-sacs? Faster travel, traffic safety, better drainage, traffic safety. In medieval Europe, what was the primary purpose of beast fables? Entertain peasants, preserve oral myth, political commentary. Political commentary. Why do Danish farmers traditionally leave porridge out for Nisse on Christmas Eve? To protect livestock, to symbolize prosperity, to celebrate Christmas, to protect livestock. Why do black holes distort time? Rapid rotation, magnetic fields, strong gravity. Strong gravity. Which institution did Alexander Hamilton believe would be most effective in stabilizing U.S. credit? Bank of the United States, Treasury Exchange Fund, Continental Bank. Bank of the United States. Which English author employed the stream of consciousness technique before Joyce? Dorothy Richardson, Virginia Woolf, Lawrence Stern. Dorothy Richardson. What happens to time as you go deeper into a gravitational well? Speeds up, slows down, reverses, slows down. Which tree structure moves sugars from the leaves to the roots? Xylem, phloem, cambium, phloem. The rings of a tree trunk primarily indicate variations in which environmental factor? Seasonal growth conditions, accumulated nutrients, humidity. Seasonal growth conditions. In fluid dynamics, which drag is caused by pressure differences? Skin friction drag, induced drag, form drag, form drag. In aviation, what mainly causes induced drag? Engine thrust, fuselage shape, wingtip vortices, wingtip vortices. The psychological phenomenon in which people perceive small round things as cute is called what? Kawaii effect, baby schema, Pygmalion effect? Baby schema. The term antique in the U.S. legally applies to items at least how many years old? 100 years? 60 years? 150 years? 100 years. Which chemical is commonly used to test the authenticity of silver antiques? Oxalic acid, nitric acid, hydrochloric acid? Nitric acid. What rare event can make lakes such as Lake Nyos release deadly carbon dioxide? Limnic eruption, methane venting, cryovolcanism? Limnic eruption. Which moon in our solar system has a nitrogen-rich atmosphere that is denser than the Earth's? Ganymede, Triton, Titan, Titan. Which type of brainwave is linked to deep sleep? Beta, delta, gamma, delta. In music theory, what is the interval ratio of a perfect fifth in just intonation? 3:2, 5:4, 4:1, 3:2. Why did Claude Monet paint the Rouen Cathedral series? Experiment with color theory, to practice perspective, to study changing light, to study changing light. Iceland sits directly on top of what major geological feature which causes it to have both volcanoes and glaciers? Mid-Atlantic Ridge, subduction zone, transform plate boundary? Mid-Atlantic Ridge. What ancient dye was so expensive it was worth more than gold by weight? Indigo, malachite green, Tyrian purple, Tyrian purple. What is the name of the halo-like effect caused by sunlight on ice crystals? Brocken specter, parhelion, lenticular arc, parhelion. What Japanese art involves arranging stones, moss, and sand to represent natural landscapes? Karisenisui, Ikebana, Ukiyo-e, Karie-sansui. What ancient structure was once believed to align perfectly with the constellation Orion's belt? The Colosseum, Pyramids of Giza, Stonehenge, Pyramids of Giza. What's the architectural term for a window that projects outward but doesn't touch the ground? Clerestory, oriel, lancet, oriel. What is the scientific name for the pleasant smell that follows rain? Petrichor, pycnogonal, geosmin, petrichor. Which early photographic process used silver-coated copper plates? Cyanotype, calotype, daguerreotype, daguerreotype. Which rare flower blooms once every 2 to 3 years and smells like rotting flesh? Titan arum, ghost orchid, corpse lily, Titan arum. Which English town is known as the origin of modern steel-tip darts? Bury, Sheffield, Nottingham, Bury. Who reportedly said, "I am not afraid. I was born to do this," right before their death? Hypatia, René Descartes, Joan of Arc, Joan of Arc. What powers was the philosopher's stone believed to have in alchemy? Heal sickness, summon the dead, turn lead into gold, turn lead into gold. Who copied medieval manuscripts by candlelight in monasteries? Chanters, scribes, mendicants, scribes. What word describes the fear of time passing? Chronophobia, metathesiophobia, thanatophobia, chronophobia. What material were dart flights originally made from? Thin parchment, bird feathers, turkey feathers, turkey feathers. Which Enlightenment thinker wrote, "Man is born free, and everywhere he is in chains"? Kant, Rousseau, Voltaire, Rousseau. Which kind of volcanic rock can actually float on water? Andesite, basalt, pumice, pumice. What was the original meaning of the word clue in Old English? Secret code, ball of thread, carved wooden token, ball of thread. Who wrote the line, "Beauty is truth, truth, beauty. That is all ye need. That is all ye know on earth, and all ye need to know"? Shelley, Wordsworth, Keats. Keats. What did Galileo first observe with his telescope in 1610 that shocked the church? Halley's Comet, rings of Saturn, moons orbiting Jupiter, moons orbiting Jupiter. Which song was first broadcast on the radio by Reginald Fessenden in 1906? Ave Maria, O Holy Night, God Save the King, O Holy Night. What planet has the shortest day in the solar system? Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune, Jupiter. In physics, what's the lowest possible temperature that can theoretically exist? -459 degrees Celsius, 0 Celsius, -273.15 Celsius, -273.15 Celsius. Which dangerous element was added to early toothpastes for health benefits? Lead, arsenic, radium, radium. The term robot comes from a Czech word meaning what? Forced labor, metal man, machine, forced labor. Which instrument first measured time underwater in the 1600s? Marine chronometer, water clepsydra, hydrometer, marine chronometer. Which of Beethoven's symphonies is referred to as the Pastoral? Symphony number 3, Symphony number 6, Symphony number 9, Symphony number 6. Which rare condition turns the skin blue from too much silver? Porphyria, cyanosis, argyria, argyria. Which European ruler was said to bathe in the blood of virgins to stay young? Mary the First of England, Catherine de' Medici, Elizabeth Bathory, Elizabeth Bathory. Which type of cask is traditionally used to age fine brandy, impacting its flavor and color? Oak, maple, cherry, oak. In the 18th century, what was the primary source of ivory for dentures? Ox horn, hippopotamus teeth, elephant tusks, hippopotamus teeth. Which anatomical curiosity from the 1800s was called the Irish Giant? Charles Byrne, Andre the Giant, Robert Wadlow, Charles Byrne. Which poisonous plant was used by ancient Greeks for execution? Oleander, belladonna, hemlock, hemlock. What mask did plague doctors wear during the 17th century? Metal masks, beaked masks, gas mask, beaked mask. Which disease may have inspired vampire legends because of sunlight sensitivity and bleeding gums? Scurvy, hemophilia, porphyria, porphyria. What preserved body from the Alps gave scientists insight into Copper Age humans? Otzi the Iceman, Talland Man, Lindo Man, Otzi the Iceman. Which toxic substance in Victorian green wallpaper caused slow poisoning? Mercury chloride, arsenic, lead oxide, arsenic. Why were some 19th century coffins fitted with bells? To signal funeral start, to alert for accidental burial, to mark grave locations, to alert for accidental burials. What strange 19th century therapy applied electric currents to the body? Galvanism, aromatherapy, magnetohygiene, galvanism. Which artist once signed a urinal and submitted it as a piece of art? Salvador Dali, Marcel Duchamp, René Magritte, Marcel Duchamp. Which civilization produced the oldest known written story, the Epic of Gilgamesh? Babylonia, Sumeria, Akkadian, Sumeria. Which drink from the early 20th century was sold as a nerve tonic and contained cocaine? Dr. Pepper, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola. In 1907, which British city installed the first coin-operated public telephone? London, Hull, Birmingham, London. Which product was advertised as the greatest step forward in baking? Cake flour, pre-made pie dough, sliced bread, sliced bread. What unusual ingredient was used in Mithridate, the anti-poison drink? Mandrake root, viper flesh, opium, viper flesh. Last question. Which company sold life insurance for moviegoers afraid of dying during a horror film? Paramount Pictures, Universal Studios, Lloyd's of London, Lloyd's of London. And that's it. How'd you do? Thanks for playing along with Quiz Time. I hope you had a blast and maybe even jogged a few fun memories. If you enjoyed this quiz, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to click the bell so you'll be the first to know when a new quiz drops. Share your score in the comments below, and we'll see you next time for some more fun trivia.